Welcome to Friendly Jordies present Shawarma FM. Now I know some of y'all are disappointed that it's just the two of us.
So I think we all
I
are.
have good news and bad news.
We all are.
Bad news is you are right. It is not an illusion. It is just the two of us. But the good news is if you do want to hear podcasts with Jordan, we're doing up lates with him, so they are available on Patreon. He's going to come back on the main pod as well. I don't know what the timeline is, but for now, we're going to do Patreon exclusive up lates with him only.
Dang.
And I guess he'll update you on the situation. I guess if you watch the main channel, you'll eventually find out, but it is what it is.
He's like James Bond these days.
He's a bit like James Bond. Okay.
Hey, wait. Hello. Continue. Happy New Year and shit.
Happy New Year.
It's great to
hope
be.
You had a Merry Christmas.
How was your Christmas, bro?
My Christmas was good, man.
Yeah, me too.
My mom and dad came from Brisbane.
Yeah.
Instead of me going up this time. So this usually
just terrible.
Pre-Christmas and Christmas time for me is like with my wife's family. And then after that, it's with my parents. Yeah. So they came to Sydney, and we actually went camping. One of the fucking most Australian white things we've ever done. Shat in a,
in the forest.
Yeah, but with
in the woods,
in bags, bro.
Why?
Because open defecation is not a good idea.
I'm a big fan personally. You bury it.
I guess, yeah. Well, yes, you do that. But we also had anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But this is what I realized. This is what I realized.
Yeah.
I'm not meant for camping. It's, you're either a camping person or you're not. And I was just thinking, I am definitely not, dude.
Not for the camping.
When I felt like a roach just up my neck.
Oh, that's horrible.
At 10 p.m.
That sucks.
And by this point, I had given up that there's bugs and mozzies everywhere.
You were sleeping in a tent, right?
Yeah. Okay. After that, I just went into my tent. We're supposed to stay there for 2 days. Yeah. I went in my tent. I went to bed. Woke up the next morning. Oh, if you want to hear a story, this is a horrible story.
I want to hear it. We have time.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I thought I'm going to go and die with this story.
No.
So I go camping. And
no, you're not.
Okay, so I go. So I wake up the next morning. I'm already pissed off, right, from the night before. Not because of anything else, but there was a freaking windstorm and the tents were blowing up. So we spent an hour just
horrible.
I know. And then anyways, then the roach episode was too much. So I just went to sleep. I was like, when I wake up, I can deal with the flies, but these night crawlies are too much.
Yeah.
I wake up next morning, I need to take a shit. Now, the method that we had come up with for shitting is, because there was ladies with us as well.
Yeah.
So we got this portable seat kind of thing.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, wait, bro? Just the seat. Okay.
Yeah, just the seat.
That's okay. That's okay.
And then underneath the seat, you can tie up a bag so that, you don't fucking leave turds all around the pristine national park, I suppose.
Bro, you're supposed to just dig a hole.
Kangaroos and emus were... Dude, I'm not a camping guy. This is what I was told.
You just dig a hole.
And I was also given the option of digging a hole.
Yeah,
anyways,
I would have gone full
the
hole.
The hole would have been a much better option anyway. Yeah. So in the morning, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked.
We're camping, right? So
God.
So in the morning, I need to take a shit.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of go up to sort of hide yourself, right? So you have to go up this
wait. What
rocky hill.
Wait, what area are you in?
Tumut. You know where that is? It's Canberra way south.
Oh, okay.
Near Snowy Mountains.
Oh, trek.
Yeah. Trek. So I go up, right? And man, I need to it's uphill, right? So I'm going up. And I'm huffing and puffing because I'm climbing a mountain, but it's early in the morning. I just woke up. I had a terrible night. I need to take a shit. And I'm
this is the worst story I've ever heard.
I look around and I'm looking for a flat place where I can set up.
Yeah.
Can't find a flat place. So I find the flattest sort of thing that I have, right?
Yeah.
So I set up the thing over there. I sit on it. I start shitting. It's great. Everything's working great. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I get the toilet paper roll.
We don't need these details, my friend.
Yeah, we don't need these details. But trust me, you will want to know this. So now, advice for anyone listening. I know you don't want to hear this, but this is very important advice.
Oh, no, this is going to be bad.
Make sure it's a flat place. You have to make sure, because balance is a key thing about physics. Dude, while I was wiping my ass, I guess I made a movement, and the toilets, it's like little Bunnings Kmart shit. it goes to the side, and I'm flat on the ground on my shit, on my own shit. It's 6 a.m.
My heart's starting to hurt.
I've had a horrible night. This is too much for me. And I'm in my shit, and there's no soap. There's no nothing. I freak out. There's a lake, right?
Thank God.
I run.
This is the funniest
right
shit.
into the lake,
This
right?
is incredible.
I go for a swim.
You're
My clothes are off.
disgraceful human.
I'm feeling pathetic. I'm feeling absolutely pathetic.
Pathetic. No, I'm kidding.
I go into the water. I clean myself, right? As much as you can clean with like...
I mean, you have to.
Yeah, of course. But like, I'd rather have a bath with like soap.
That'd
and
be
like,
nice. A shower would be best.
A shower would be so good.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
the lake's
shower.
pretty good.
Anyway, so I go into the lake.
I can't believe you
I come
fell in
out.
your shit.
I just don't tell anyone what's happened. My dog, he's kind of like a little lazying around. He's tired.
Yeah.
I trump up a thing like, dog's sick. I got to take him back.
Okay.
I fucking pack up my shit.
Back home.
And I go. Me, my dog. I go straight home. I take a nice bath.
Oh my God.
And that's my camping story.
Hey, bro. You're a funny cunt.
Oh my
you
God.
are a funny
I did
cunt.
not feel
Dude,
funny at the time.
You're nuts. You fell in the...
I fell in my own shit. It was a lot of shit too.
Oh,
you know how when
dude.
you're on holidays, you be eating all this shit.
Can I tell you? Go on. No, go on.
No, I don't want to say this.
No. Also, give it to me.
Semi-diarrhea, dude. Semi-diarrhea. I heard it go. Anyways, that day I learned two things. One, camping is not for me. Second, you always look for flat surfaces.
Bro, I love this job. Okay, here's what should have happened.
What?
You should have walked into the woods with a shovel.
Yeah.
Dug a small hole.
Buried the body.
Buried the body. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
The fake seat. I'm sorry, but it's actually an immigrant call because it's like, this is the polite thing. It's like no. This is the bush. Shit in a hole. That's it.
All right, fine. I don't even know if that's legal, bro. You can't just.
Of course, it's legal.
Okay.
Burying. Okay, in the comments, is burying your shit in. I mean, it's not legal in Circular Quay. But maybe it is legal in certain.
I mean,
it's
the
frowned
kangaroos
upon.
and emus were doing it with no problem. They weren't even digging holes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In Circular Quay, it would be frowned upon. I think
you'd get arrested.
You'd get arrested, but in the bush, it'd be sweet. But that's so funny.
You know why?
You know what it is? That's very sweet. You're a sweetheart.
While I'm confessing, I'll tell you exactly why I didn't do the whole thing.
All right.
You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because I saw a fucking.
The truth
I've
comes
stopped
out.
watching shorts and reels now, but like I saw a reel in Australia.
Here we go. A snake came and bit someone.
Okay, this wasn't in the bush. I think it was like somewhere in the city, but some, brown dude, Indian dude was taking a shit. And like this Aussie cunt was like, look at these fucking cunts. What are you doing, mate? There's no toilet. And like every time I thought about digging a hole, I just thought like some fucking bogan is going to come at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing, cunt? What are you doing? So I was like, I'll do the bag. You know what? Have you seen that video? You have seen that video, right?
Yes, but we have to unpack this. Wait, I'm sorry, we can't move on. We have to unpack this. Okay, first of all, I understand what you're saying. If I was like from Pakistan and saw that video, I would freak out too. I would probably be like, I don't want. Dude, I don't want to get deported for like a bad shit. Like I'm not even having fun. No. Holy shit. No, okay, so like I completely understand why you would be like, expect some white guy to be like, look, there he is. It's another one doing it. Look, with a phone. That wouldn't happen because you're in the freaking bush next to like the snowy mountains. But I understand your like irrational fear of that happening.
Okay, yeah, irrational.
That is hilarious. It's very sweet, very considerate. It's very sweet and considerate. You don't want to be you don't want to be made famous on TikTok, being like, here's another Indian shitting in the woods. But dude, That's like very nice. You're extremely hilarious, but very nice. But dude, that video, I've seen it. He was doing that in a residential street, bro. That's the difference.
Yeah, I get it, but I
it was
take risk, man.
Yeah. It was a very irrational.
No.
That's very irrational of you to be like, there's no human for a million miles.
Dude, you know the bar?
You just hear like a running. It's like, oh, I can see him. He's ran from the last location.
Bro, the bar for being an immigrant is so high now. Like,
why?
You literally have to like save a bunch of white people during a terrorist attack for you to be like, oh, it's fine. Like, if you are a world famous cricketer, you know, who has just retired and has briefly mentioned that, you know, has faced some racism in their life, ungrateful cunt. I did not want to take the risk. You see, I have saved 0 Jews in my life to be able to shit in public.
You're skating on thin ice. You need to start saving some people in terrorist attack. You're skating on very thin ice.
I know.
Or should I say shitting on thin ice? No, look. Oh, even though I'm probably going to die of skin cancer, I'm glad that this is my skin tone.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Even though if I'm probably going to die of skin cancer, I'm glad this is how my skin, because I have to deal with all that shit.
True, I do get like
it is very
skin cancer.
Yeah,
it is also like
potential
guaranteed diabetes.
That is
that comes with.
You reckon?
Yeah, dude, highest rates of diabetes in the world. In India, Pakistan.
Why? So much meat? No, sugar. Diabetes is diet.
I think
diabetes
it's like
is
maybe
type 1 or type 2.
I think type 2.
That's diet.
Type 2, yeah. I think so. It's mostly like over dependence on carbohydrates.
Yeah,
just general
it's a
diet.
poverty thing. Like in America,
it's cultural thing almost now.
Indian,
you eat rice with bread with everything.
But we fucking eat. White people eat.
Yeah, you eat like there's a difference.
Tell me.
So you would have like a plate where you had some vegetables, some meat, and then you'd have maybe like a garlic bread or a piece. Brown people have to eat bread with every bite. So you make a little container of bread and you put whatever curry, whatever you're eating in it. And so like there's an and if you don't do that, if you're not doing bread, then
wasteful?
Like it's rice. And that's just part of the culture. Like I remember like listening to this actually Aussie
Joe Rogan
sports
podcast
coach who was coaching the Pakistan cricket team or something. And he was saying like his difficulty is as like the Pakistani diet is just not conducive to high performance athleticism.
Shit.
So he has to like re-educate everyone and it kind of, because he was saying like normally wherever I go, I'd be like, okay, I'll make the diet plan according to what you already eat. But like with some of these guys, it was like, hey, we got to move, dude.
Okay.
I'll introduce you to broccoli.
But what would happen if what would happen if you served like a native Pakistani curry and rice, but the rice portion was like small? Like
I'll tell you what would happen. They'd enjoy it, and then in an hour they'd be like, "Okay, let's time for dinner."
Wow, it's funny you say that because I had lunch the other day, right?
Yeah.
And it was like a buffet thing because at this other thing because I did one thing there, but it was like a buffet, and like bro, I was going rich vibes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like meat, 2 salads, rice, and I go. Clever. Just a little bit of rice. Lots of meat, lots of salad.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
I did go back for more rice though.
But I'm guessing that's the reason. I'm not a health expert. I don't know exactly what it is. But
that's not the point. But my point is that is so like it's very sweet and fucking hilarious that happened. You know what? That's an example of. So often in life, and everyone does this, you care too much and you fuck it all up. That's what that was.
I literally fell on my shit.
You literally fell into your own shit because you cared too much. You were being like paranoid and kind of nice.
Yeah. Dude, I remember like swimming in that like lake and just being like, dude, my life wasn't that bad in Pakistan. Like, you know, a lot of this shit of like, I have options. Like, it wasn't that bad. It's safer in this country, but like I wasn't starving. Like,
shitting in the woods.
I wasn't shitting in the woods.
Do people camp in Pakistan, or is that just being?
Nah, that's not really a culture there.
Yeah.
I guess you're poor. You feel homeless if you're doing that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I haven't been camping for a very long time, but I'd do it. I liked it when it's more fun when you're younger.
I mean, oldies do it too, man.
Yeah, but they do it in style. They got their camper vans just at home. They're like, yeah, it's a different tree, you know?
That's true. And dude, some of those camper vans like cost as much as a house.
I know, it's dumb. It's dumb.
Ridiculous.
It's like, it's got gas. But you need to have a fucking rotisserie chicken in the bush, bro.
Yeah.
Too much.
Hey, let's start with the segments.
Yeah, what did you talk about yesterday, though? I got FOMO.
We spoke about Venezuela, and
so that was an up late.
And then, and he spoke, and Jordan talked. I talked about Venezuela,
and he talked about
South Australia.
What about it?
Just that South Australia is doing like really well.
Yeah, right.
Because of the Labor government, but he's saying like they're pretty much fully green. But you should listen to the uplate because
I don't have access to the uplate.
I'll just send you the file, you cheap cunt.
Well, I'm not going to pay for it.
What's going to you?
Yes. Continue.
One account to the other. Anyways.
Anyway, hey, by the way, guys, hopefully you don't, I guess it's news to me Jordan's not on now, or right now, but if you don't hate us, thank you so much for being here, because it's so nice to do this as opposed to anything else in my life.
Yeah, but we have to get to the substance.
Let's go, bruh.
Unplanned shit stories. Okay. First one. So Albanese today announced anti-Semitism Royal Commission.
Yeah, that was obviously for optics, eh?
Look, man, he was getting a lot of pressure. I don't
that's
know
what
if
I'm
it's
saying.
just about optics.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like
pressure.
Yeah. But he claims that he was like always open to it, which is not something that's like surprising to me.
What a royal commission is just a very intense investigation, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's also
what's the difference?
Not internal. So departments that may like have committed some whatever issue can internally do an investigation, look for someone within the organization that is somewhat neutral, come up with it, and then internally take the decision. A royal commission just puts it into a third party thing where like it's not someone from it's another, like in this case, it's a ex-high court judge that's going to evaluate all the thing and then give recommendations as to what they think caused it, how this can be amended, blah, blah,
right.
all that
Does
stuff.
it cost a lot of money?
Yeah, of course. It's a big
process. What's the last one they did it again? What's the last royal commission they did?
Wasn't there one on Robodebt?
Was there?
Yeah.
There wasn't one on old mate ball tampering?
Some like Lebanese cunt on the internet was like, bruh, we need a royal commission into these headlights. They're getting stronger and stronger every year, and now I'm blind. We need a royal commission into these.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
Nah, look, it's probably... but the thing is, I feel like a royal commission into anti-Semitism is a waste of money because we know it exists and we know the reasons. So what's the point of doing that?
I guess it's also like... It's not just about
solutions.
There's anti-Semitism and it's caused it, but it's also, the intelligence failures. And all of that stuff. That's going to be.
That's probably a good thing. What was?
But to be fair, it would have been the same. I don't think for something of a tragedy of this scale, I don't think an internal investigation would have also been like, nah, there's nothing wrong. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like pretty.
Yeah.
Like no one's taken a terrorist attack lightly.
What was Jordan's take apart from that? Like. Labor is doing good.
He goes into, again, it was an uplate thing. He goes into like, the lobbying, and he sort of went into the internal mechanisms of
interesting.
Very Gina Reinhardt stuff.
What
you gotta sign up to the uplate. It's already on. It's already uploaded.
I have to sign up.
No, not you. I'm talking about those people.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I thought you were just being like if you're interested in the material, sign up. Okay, well, yeah, no, look, what do you think about that?
I'm personally okay with it.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
why
not?
I mean, it required some kind of investigation. If it's a royal commission, I think it's appropriate. I think Albo's, he was saying that his point was like after a terrorist attack, I'm like more, my priority is national security at that point.
Sure, yeah.
I need to make sure that this isn't happening. This isn't like a wave of things.
Yeah.
And he says that even me announcing this royal commission, looking back at like all the royal commissions, is in actually record time. It's not that this is a highly delayed.
Yeah, I mean, look,
announcement.
I think my take. I'm not one of these people that's like it's Albo's fault. Like that's just like not fair. But
totally,
it's not fair.
Of course, it's not.
But like, I don't know. There needs to be some sort of investigation into a. This can't, this opens up like 20 questions. It's like, okay, time to deep dive.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there will be. But I think it'll be, man, I swear, whether it was Albo doing it or a royal commission, it would be like, Yeah, the intelligence community was kind of asleep.
Yeah, definitely. I think that
There has to be.
I think they were kind of asleep, and they probably underestimated that something like this could happen. Even though.
But now we know, Miss, because so that Christmas, New Year's period.
Yeah.
ISIS was really active everywhere. In fact, there was like a
Really?
big terrorist plot. Bondi actually encouraged every other country to then start looking at like this stuff seriously, and then a lot of terrorist plots were foiled.
But this is are you serious?
Yeah, dude. There was Manchester. There was
another one in Manchester.
Yeah, it didn't happen because they stopped it.
God.
In the US. There was a bunch of places. In India, there was like a bunch.
Oh my God.
They were all ISIS affiliated.
But you know what's strange?
Attacks.
Like, we've had big ass terror attacks throughout Europe 10 years ago. Like Madrid, was it? And then London bombings. And it's like, why wouldn't these investigations have been ongoing since then? Like, isn't it weird now that it's like the Bondi attack? Who cares that 300 people died in the tube in London? Stop the presses. It's like, did you forget that happened?
And there was a really intense one recently in Russia, if you remember.
What was it? You don't say that if it's Ukraine.
No. ISIS.
I do remember
Russia.
that. And they that was a while ago.
Yeah. But
and then they
recently.
beat their asses. Remember?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Beat their asses.
They beat their asses. I think part of it, not all of it, but part of it has to do with the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. I think it's, again,
we talked about that, remember?
Yeah,
we were talking about
the Russian attack has links to ISIS-K, which is
kindergarten ISIS.
Khorasan, which is like essentially Afghan ISIS. And there's a lot of there's a lot of
it's crazy. So
it can become like a little bit of a safe haven.
So ISIS really is still a very powerful institution with ties globally.
Well, man, I don't know exactly how powerful it is, but it's definitely still existing, and it does have ties globally. Yeah. And they feed off of, like, dude, it's a terrorist organization, so they feed off of resentment. And I think the war, the Gaza war and stuff is like radicalized. It's more fertile ground for them, you know?
Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah, Jesus. Well, look, I think it's good that Albo's doing that. I mean, I know you could see Albo when he was doing I've seen a few, I still stand by the point that, like, I think a lot of, understandably, some people are taking advantage.
Oh, there's that too, yeah, for sure.
But I also do believe that it is inherently political. If there's someone that's flying a political flag, flying a political flag and someone's like, it's not political. It's like, well, it is. Like, that doesn't mean people should take advantage and be like, use that as a wedge to their own agenda. But I think
absolutely not. But the other thing is, like, even with the investigation, I'm happy for the Royal Commission because I think there needs to be an investigation as well. And so far, most of the direction that terrorist attack is being pointed to is ISIS, as opposed to, like, a Palestinian resistance sort of movement kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm happy about the investigation. So everything becomes clear.
For sure, dude. Yeah. I mean, look, you have to. I mean, when such a failure of intelligence, and which then bring, like, so many questions arise from something like that, it's like it's common sense to do that. So it's a good thing for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I'm saying, like,
and it will also become clear as to, like, there's this thing that's being floated around everywhere in Australia that, like, somehow the Palestinian protests are responsible for this, which is obvious. I mean, okay, to me that's a
stretch.
Kind of, it's a big stretch.
But there were,
for one, there's no evidence for it.
Well, yeah, but there were ISIS flags flown on the bridge by people walking,
and that's an offense. So you should probably catch those guys.
I agree.
But there was, like,
I'm saying,
a lot of people on that bridge.
I know. I'm just saying, there's a correlation there.
Yeah,
but to do a broad,
honestly,
but to do a broad,
but
to do a broad brush is, of course,
if I'm
crazy.
Part of ASIO, right?
Yeah, like,
if I'm in intelligence,
like, I don't think
that
Bob
to me
Carr
is actually a good thing because I can identify people that have ISIS sympathies.
Sure.
As opposed to them just being in their house.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed. I'm just saying,
no, it shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be raising an ISIS flag.
No, it is. I mean, it's not allowed. But, like, I'm saying, well, now it's not allowed, right? It was allowed.
No, ISIS is a terrorist, has been declared a terrorist organization.
Well, anyway, I'm saying, like,
ages ago.
I'm saying, like, in the very least, that's a bad look. You know?
Absolutely.
But to say that like Bob Carr was flying an ISIS flag would be incorrect.
Yeah, and there were so many people, man. Would you remember how many? The number was?
No, it was 200,000.
100,000 people, if I'm not wrong, or maybe it was like 80,000 people. That's a lot of people.
It is.
They're not ISIS sympathizers.
No, not all of them. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not most of them. How's that? Not most of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of them are.
Some of them are, but not many.
No, some of them aren't.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, also, like, I don't know. You just look. I mean, there's fringe groups everywhere.
Yeah.
But you look at, like, I don't know, man. It just stings a lot more now seeing that footage of, like, people being like, gas the Jews at the Opera House. Remember that?
Yeah.
Fringe little group of people. But, like, you know.
That exists, yeah, for sure.
It exists, and it's like, to be like, no, that doesn't have an effect on broader society.
Yeah.
ISIS flags don't have a broader effect on society is very naive.
But like the effect of it is not necessarily curving that. So for example, I'll give you...
also, what do you think about Chris Minns introducing all these laws now being like upping...
Well, exactly, right? So any reasonable person would be okay with laws that target terrorism.
Yeah.
I am. But like some of these things, for example, you can already see the effects. So there's
an terrible
Adelaide Festival.
Did you see that he's banned face coverings? Remember I said they should do that?
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'm happy.
Now we are such a free society.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Okay.
That was a snark comment.
Yeah, because
very sarcastic.
Okay, fine.
Go on.
We've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
But so there's an Adelaide Festival that's happening, and one of these pro-Palestinian academic, Randa Abdul Fattah, she's Palestinian, Aussie but Palestinian. She has been appearing in that festival since the last few years. This time around, she was uninvited, and they said the reason why we're inviting her is because after the Bondi tragedy, it doesn't feel right. And it's like, okay, what do you think about that?
How soon after was it?
It's like in a few days. It hasn't happened yet.
See, this is where the lines get... It's wrong to equate that act with Palestine. Those people weren't Palestinian. ISIS isn't Palestinian. Mm-hmm. So I think that's not fair. That's not fair because it's like equating her with something that it's not.
Yeah, but
related.
I mean, she is. I don't know a lot about her. I'll be honest, because I've just read this news article, so I wasn't privy to her before.
I think because
I will admit, so I don't know everything that she's ever spoken.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like a couple of years ago or last year it was fine. So how bad could it really be?
No, definitely. Yeah. I think what it's done is it feels so raw that it's kind of like, it's just 6 degrees of separation, right? It's like Jews were being targeted. Jews are from their home. They live in Israel. You're going to criticize Israel. It seems like insensitive. Maybe it is still, but it's like but politically, intellectually, she should be allowed because it doesn't make sense. It's equating things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I understand. I don't know. I think it's still just going to be. I think it's going to be this raw issue now where it's kind of like, don't be insensitive. But then,
which is actually part of the reason.
But then it's also insensitive to kill 30,000 children. That's also insensitive. And it's more than insensitive. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's almost like it was a touchy subject before. Now it's way more touchy.
I'll give you an example. After the 9/11 attacks, America came out with these new terrorist laws, right? Which at the time,
but they were just a way to monitor people. I think, like,
not
the
really.
Patriot Act. The Patriot Act.
Yeah, the Patriot Act.
It was a monitoring thing.
Now you say that with the distance, but at the time, people were like, "Well, it's important."
Yeah.
3,000 people just died, out of nowhere. It was very, very popular.
Yeah.
But those same laws are now being used for like anyone, including like Maduro, who has nothing to do with 9/11 or anything.
Yeah, but they were introduced under nefarious pretenses.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like some of these laws, who knows, maybe in like 10 years time, people would be arguing that they were introduced for nefarious reasons too.
I don't think it's as dramatic.
Which is why I think the Royal Commission, I actually am happy with the Royal Commission because I want to know all the truth about it, including if there's any sort of foreign interference, let's say from Iran, or like where's these like ISIS sympathizers getting their money from.
Yeah.
But I hope it would also reveal information about other foreign countries that might be exploiting this particular issue. Surely that has to be on the table as well.
Yeah, everything.
Right?
Everything.
So I think I'm actually happy with the Royal Commission.
Yeah.
I want everything. I want to know everything.
It's an investigation, a bipartisan investigation.
Yeah. Including any actor.
Yeah.
Any foreign actor that's involved.
For sure.
The Islamists and some others as well.
I mean, yeah, that's safe. I think the others in this case would be less. There'd be less to find out, personally.
Yeah, but maybe. But like
but
either way,
everything's on the table. Yeah, but you know, I think. Look, I understand that. I guess sensitivities would be high still, so it's kind of like, all right, let's. I mean, look, Australia, we like to think anyway, is a international country. You know, we're like global. It's supposed to be a modern global country. So modern global countries are supposed to talk about international politics. We don't have to just talk about like fairy bread, you know. But like, but I think it's just, I understand that it's an added level of sensitivity, and it's not that this is the problem. Individuals, generally speaking, shouldn't be equated to by their clan. So we can't just say the guy was Indian or whatever who did the attack, or Italian and half Italian. We can't just say it's all Italian, it's all Indians. Same thing with Jewish people, you know? You can't say...
No, I'm not saying... Dude.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying...
Let me make it clear. I meant the country of Israel. I did not mean the people.
I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm just...
I probably should have...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not... Obviously you were saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the problem on both sides of that argument is, I think, Palestinians... or let's say the Palestinians might look at a Jewish person and then equate that to all of Israel, and vice versa. Like a Zionist will say like this Palestinian person is an anti-Semite, and it's like they're both unfair equations to just, you know what I mean? So like, and like I think the danger with anyone talking about either group is they start to hate the individuals. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like someone that's doing a speech that's a Zionist, I've noticed will generally equate like all these people are terrorists or whatever. And then the same, like very hard pro-Palestinians, I've seen speeches where they start saying this is the Jewish problem, and they're not talking about Israel, they're talking about Jews. Yeah. And it's like, it takes like the minutia between, it's such a fine line between talking about a state and a government and an and a race. And that line is crossed sometimes in like 2 seconds. Like someone's speaking and then they say the Jews, and it's like, yeah, this is fine. And that what you just said is fucked. You know what I mean? It's like, that's, I think, a problem that people, representatives on, whether it's activists or whatever, sometimes fall into, not all the time, but like it does happen. So like I think they're worried that someone's talking at an event and then someone yells out, gash the Jews at this Adelaide Festival, and then everyone starts, it's like, that's fucked, you know? So it's like,
so the solution is like,
I don't know what the solution is.
I mean, how about like if someone says, if someone yells that out, you go catch that person and charge them for the offense. That's how as opposed to like, I'm going to ban these group of individuals in case someone in the audience or they themselves.
You're right.
This isn't Minority Report. You know, if someone commits an offense, then you charge them for it.
That's true. But
you don't predict.
That's true. But I think at least for like 6 months, it's going to be Minority Report, you know?
Yeah, I'm arguing it's not going to be for 6 months. I'm arguing that these laws are going to be used for the foreseeable future.
So, yeah, I mean, look, I know. Well, I can imagine.
Because look, the governments of every country.
Yeah.
Now you might for example, I believe that the current government that Australia has no intention of doing that.
Yeah.
I actually like Labour government. I like Albanese. I believe that they have no intention.
Yeah.
But you don't know who's going to come after them.
Yeah.
And they look at these as tools to be used.
Yeah.
You know, like someone like Trump comes into the same constitution, the same country that everyone else has, but then looks at all of these things that previous presidents used to be like. But he's saying these are tools.
Maybe that's the case, but then also
it's gone to a point where like.
But then talking about Minority Report, what you're saying now is like we can't act now because a hypothetical in the future, like.
Well, if you have grounds of suspicion on someone who hasn't committed a crime, that's fine. You can have suspicion. So in that case, you monitor them.
Yeah. So
that's fine.
So what?
But like, you can't arrest them before they do it. What? Unless you are convinced that there's a plan and they're about to do something and you have evidence for it, then I understand.
True.
You can prove that, okay, this was going to happen, this was a plan, and we stopped it before. That's fine.
So what do you have, what do you have a problem with in particular with whatever, did they introduce some new?
I'm just saying, man, all I have is that I completely understand the rationale for fighting anti-Semitism. I completely understand how the Jewish community gets the brunt of political, upheavals that happen wherever. I completely get that. And I do genuinely believe that just criticizing them is a racial act because you're just doing it based on their religion. And that should be stopped. Yeah. But then there is the line of like, okay, well, that doesn't apply to countries. Countries aren't individual. Countries can make bad decisions. Countries can have governments that are good. Countries that can have governments that are bad.
Exactly.
How can you equate a country? Like, okay.
You can't.
You can't, right? So like, for example, like, Islam's home is Saudi Arabia, because that's where it originated from.
I didn't know that.
If I start criticizing Saudi Arabia and you say, don't criticize Islam, it's like, I'm not criticizing Islam.
I totally agree with you.
It's a government.
I agree with you. Totally. You can. And governments are free for all to criticize.
I even, to some extent, I even will be willing to accept that criticizing or condemning every person from a country is also bad. Saying like all Israelis,
Totally, yeah.
I completely understand that too.
Yes.
Having said that, there are instances where like governments put sanctions on, like America's put sanctions on Russia. That applies to every single Russian. Yeah. Irrespective of what their opinion is.
Yes.
That happens. But even that I can get. But a government is something else.
I agree. There's no laws that have been introduced where you can't criticize the government.
That's the point of freedom of speech.
Exactly. That's not going to happen. They're going to be like, you can't criticize the government. Nah, that's not.
There's a definitional thing.
What do you mean?
There's a definition that has been introduced which equates criticism of the state of Israel as criticism of the Jewish people.
No way. Yeah. In Australia?
Well, no, this is like a global definition, which one of the recommendations is to adopt that definition in Australia as well.
Jesus. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's not good. That's not a good idea. You have to be able to criticize governments. They're like free for all. The governments generally suck. So like, of course you have to hold them to, that's the whole point of government, to like hold fire under their asses.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with that. Look, it's almost more a question of like linguistics and like sociology, because it's like, should you be able to allowed to say whatever you want? Yeah, you should. You shouldn't really police what people can and can't say, unless it's a call to violence, right? Unless it's a call to violence, then that's illegal already. I know that Mins was saying globalize the antivirus. He wants to ban that. Is that a call to violence? I don't know. I'm actually more sympathetic to that idea. I'm not a like linguist. You'd have to ask Chomsky. I don't know. It's like.
No. You don't have to ask Chomsky.
Yeah.
That one I actually kind of agree with.
Really? Okay, so you do think that is calling for some sort of, because it's like a war. And
intifada isn't like an abstract concept. Intifada is...
It's a rebellion or something. It's rebellion,
but it also has the connotations of like intifadas...
War.
Yeah, war, but also like, sometimes... There was killings of civilians and that too. I understand how, if I was a Jewish person and I heard that would freak me out.
Right, 100%. Okay, yeah. So, okay, fine, yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with the from the river to the sea chant, because I have a different view on that. But
again, I'm almost like, I could probably be convinced either way because it's interpretations, you know? It's almost like...
that's the other thing. It's interpretation.
Yeah.
It's how do you judge intentions? It's a difficult one.
But I agree with you. You should be able to say whatever you want. But if you are like a kind of... It's the catch-22 of like the ideals of a democracy and the West, right? It's like sometimes the things you say can lead to violent acts, but that's the risk you run of having the freedom to say those things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's the deal. And so it's like, so people might get pissed off at certain groups spouting certain things. That's kind of the deal. You just got to live with it, I think. It's like, right? It's like, yeah, unless there is a call to violence, then that crosses a line.
It's complicated. I think it's good that we're having the Royal Commission so we can look at the findings and then come up with.
Has he literally banned? He hasn't. Min's. I think it was Min's. I don't know. I've watched
He's banned protesting for the time being.
Yeah. I mean, look, even that's a bit like, oh, maybe that's a bit much, but it's not gonna remain. And
they've extended it.
Yeah, I think people are just the public has, or maybe it's just the media, but I think a lot of the public has seen enough of those protests. So they're like, fuck.
Yeah, whatever. But it's not like protests aren't about whether you like them
exactly.
or not. It's
exactly.
not.
No, exactly.
Protests are often.
That's the point of them.
Like
that's
them.
the point of them. So it's like,
so
it is a bit iffy. It is a bit iffy. I understand. I'm sure. Look, I think that like it's still. Look, dude, it's still fresh. And like, if someone is very insensitive, if someone in the Jewish community today saw another Palestinian rally and a couple of people saying globalized Antifa, like he might have like, you know, it might be like, this is scary or something. So it's like, I understand that they want to like just hold it for a sec. You can be angry again in like 2 months, you know?
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe that's
reasonable
not true.
position.
I don't know.
Reasonable position.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the US today.
Dude.
Did you hear about the Minneapolis shooting? Did you see the video?
Yes.
What's your take on that? Is it an legitimate act of self-defense?
No.
Or is it cold-blooded murder?
Bro, it's murder, bro. It's murder for sure, bro. They walked up to this car. She was just like parked there.
Do you know, if you've seen the full video, right?
Yes.
Did you see what like afterwards when the woman's going like, shame, you saw all of that,
right? All of it.
So that cop who shot, who if you can see in the video goes
like, bang.
up. Apparently he's in hospital because he's injured by the car, you know, because it was such an act of self-defense. Wow. He had to go to the hospital.
I didn't see that in the video.
Yeah, me neither, but that's what happened. And also JD Vance came out and said that he has...
Wait, what did he say? He blamed the
full immunity. Like that the ICE agent is
to do
president.
what he wants?
Yeah, to do whatever he wants. Full immunity.
Wow, fuck.
And obviously if you weaponize a car against federal agents, you should be shot.
Jesus.
That's what the government says.
Did she weaponize her car? Didn't she just pull up next to them? Did she block them?
I don't think so. Okay, so if you see the video, and a lot of people have commented.
I have watched it.
Because it's the tires. That's the key.
Okay.
So they're saying that she was going towards the cop who shot her to run him over. That's the government's point of view.
Okay.
But then people are pointing out at the video and saying like, you can see the tires go in the other direction.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Obviously, she's trying to get away from these people. Any reasonable person that looks at that video understands that she is not trying to kill this cop when there's like 15 cops around.
Yeah.
She's trying to get the fuck away from them.
Yeah.
And gets shot in the... But like, that's not the government is saying she was trying to go for him, run him over.
But the evidence...
And then come out and spit on his dead body, you know?
Yeah, the video doesn't seem
And then scream globalize the Intifada.
She had the scarf thing on. You know,
she had the scarf thing on.
No, dude. The only video I've seen is like she looks like, it looks like two guys walking up to her and like she looks like she's like they're here. She looks like she's moving away and they just seem to walk up to her and then she starts to drive away and it looks like this dude shoots. So it's like it looks.
And she wasn't even an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, it just looks very. Look, I mean, like it looks exactly like
And
that.
now
That's what it
what's-
looks like. So
what's happened is also that the Trump administration has essentially moved the entire investigation away from the state, Minneapolis City, and is now going to be fully conducted by Kash Patel. And he gets to decide if there was any wrongdoing or not.
yeah, I'm sure that'll be very bipartisan.
Exactly, because everyone knows Kash Patel is an honorable man.
Honorable and doesn't have the face of a crazy psycho. Definitely.
Exactly, but man, this isn't like I'm being like, it's kind of weird because
it's crazy.
These are the things that sort of cause like violent friction as well. You can already see that there's protesters on the streets because it's not only that this happened.
America.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
There are people protesting about it. But it's not only that this happened, but the very public display of like nothing can be done about it, even when the mayor and the governor are saying that this is a cold
This is a big rift.
So if you continue to do shit like this,
Yeah.
this is when armed resistance start happening. Because
Wow.
then states will start, you know how like Republicans used to always say state rights. We get to decide what happens in our state. Well, this goes completely against it. So if you keep doing stuff like that, there's going to be an element of disenfranchisement where like it doesn't matter what we think. It just matters who is in the White House.
I mean,
and that's the sort of stuff that leads to like enclaves of resistance and armed uprisings.
This definitely seems like this could be like a turning point, maybe. Because it's so obvious. It seems so unless there's some new footage that comes out where she's got a gun or something, you know, which I haven't seen. So like, it's funny actually because I watched an interview. You know that guy, he's like bald guy with glasses who talks like this and talks about how there's a male epidemic. That guy, he was on a podcast and he was talking about how like, it wasn't about that. It was an older one, but he was talking about how traditionally, he was talking about the middle class is disappearing. Billionaires getting tax breaks. They're flying to space, basically building bunkers. The middle class is shrinking. The lower class is just getting shit. And he was saying, if you look at historically, he said a lot of South American examples. He said when armed revolutions and rebellions have taken place, they've been under the guise of like extreme inequality, like extreme wealth and extreme poverty, and just that rift, that chasm getting so big that it just broke. It was too much. And he was saying like America, he was saying is heading for that because he's like, he just said, look at the numbers. He's like, I'm just talking about the numbers. Just look at the money and look at the numbers. And he's like, this seems to be where things are moving.
But the other thing that like sort of freaks me out, just on that note, as a deviation, at least in like the first Civil War, the 1800 Civil War in the U.S., you had like certain states versus other states, right? So you had the South, you know, pro-slavery state versus non-slavery. So if you were living in the North, let's say you were living in, I don't know, New York or something, right?
Boston or some shit.
Yeah. During the Civil War, you knew everyone around you was blue.
Yeah.
You know? Or sorry, was North. Like, you know, all your neighbors, you were fighting against people in the South. The next Civil War, God forbid if it happens, is not going to be like that because this is going to be a war between urban and rural within states. So
you think so?
Obviously, because like if you look
Trump was elected by rural.
Yeah, Trump was elected by rural. But within those states of rural, you have enclaves that are very Democrat.
Absolutely. Look at
so
Austin.
What I'm saying
Austin.
is, God forbid there's a next Civil War, you wouldn't know what side your neighbor is on. And that is going to be fucked.
It's like that movie, I don't know what it's called. Civil War? The American... there's
a new one that came out. I haven't seen it. Is it any good?
It's pretty old now.
Dude, have you seen
Really good. It's really good.
Have you seen that new Leo movie?
Leo who?
So, Leonardo DiCaprio.
No. What movie?
It's like...
Wait.
It's going to win the Oscar, the No Look Tomorrow or something. What's it called?
Don't Look Up?
No, dude. Like, 1 second. It's on...
What do you, tell me. I love Leo. Tell me what it's called.
1 second. I've got to talk to you about that one because that's essentially the... One battle after another.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen that one,
Yeah.
right?
Have you seen it?
I saw half of it because I just kind of freaked out.
You freaked out?
Yeah, because I saw it like after the Bondi stuff, and I was like, really?
You know that script's actually taken from the Reagan era.
Yeah, but like you can, it sort of relates
It's
as well
applicable.
now,
It's
you know,
applicable.
it's applicable. and it was just like too intense for me. Like
because that's basically what it's about.
I normally loved it. You know, I normally love that kind of genre.
Yeah, but
this was
too
like
much. Yeah.
Oh man, this feels a bit too real at the moment. So
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I would say that more so than a rebellion against ICE and the government and Trump, I think the bigger thing would be money and standard of living that would drive people to.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all fucked. It's brutal, and it's I was like so excited for the new year, and it's like so much fucked up shit as well. Like, did you talk about Venezuela?
Yeah, we talked about Venezuela.
I mean, we don't have to talk about it.
But the great thing about Venezuela is
Yeah.
usually you sort of, this is how things used to happen. Where
I know what you're going to say.
What this is really about. What is it
Oil,
about,
oil.
guys?
And
And it's
then-
about oil. Someone's like, no, this
No,
is about
it's not about oil.
And then
Trump-
one cunt would be like, this is about democracy, fellas. What are you talking
And then
about?
Trump comes out.
And then like Trump's like,
we need their oil.
yeah, any explanation
their
that I
oil.
had to give, he's giving you all of it.
And more.
He's telling you what it's about,
Yeah.
and it's not just oil. He's talking about like the geopolitics. He's now saying
yeah.
like, you can't sell it to Russia, you can't sell it to China. I was like, well, I mean, if you really want to know what's happening, just listen to the
him.
man.
You got to pay him. One thing he does do that politicians don't do is he just tells what he's thinking. He's just.
But you
speaks his
know,
mind.
actually, this is one thing that I sort of disagreed
it's-
with Jordan on.
Yeah.
Because Jordan was like, look, at least now it's up front. You know, it's in the open, and he's saying, and I was sort of thinking that I think it's important the stories that we tell ourselves. This,
What do you mean?
Before when America used to invade, Iraq or something, it was about democracy.
It was good to believe
there was
it.
a pretense,
Yeah.
and there's a big group of people that are saying, well, it's refreshing that it's out in the open. I was like,
It's not.
I don't know if it's refreshing, man. Like,
No, it's
this is
dangerous.
like
I think it's-
open embrace of evil.
Exactly. I think it's
which will have psychological issues.
Yes.
At this point, people are
Yes.
looking at it and going like, well, it's fine. He's a boss.
Who's saying that?
There's people, dude. He recently, you know what Trump recently did?
What?
He was doing a speech and he was like,
Greenland.
Everything, ever since I said Greenland, do you know what Denmark has done? They added another dog sled. Or whatever it's called. I don't know. And he was like, and it was, to him, it was a joke. Like, these guys are, like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
But then, like, and I looked at the comments and dude, everyone was like, boss, funniest president ever. Funniest president. And I was like,
Not funny.
dude, this is like,
That
you're embracing evil.
Yeah, what he's doing, and it's on the record that the first time around I was like, yeah, drain the swamp, but bro, like the second term has not been that, and like hearing him, think about this: an American president, sitting president, is threatening a NATO country and a European fucking ally with an invasion. That's never happened ever, apart from World War II.
Yeah.
But like, this is like that to me is the scariest shit. It's like, what are you talking about? And also, what's insane is
There's also no rationale for it in the traditional sense. Like, I mean, as if Denmark is going to refuse U.S. bases on Greenland.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
there's a shit ton of bases there already. What are you talking about?
Actually, there's not a shit ton. There was one base, which, by the way,
there
America
was a shit ton.
voluntarily reduced the amount of personnel.
Okay.
Not because Denmark said you have to get out or anything. And dude, you can also, you know what's,
Do they want the minerals?
again, this is like so conflicting to me that, you know what the new American media is already peddling?
What?
That they're colonized people. Greenland, they're Inuits. They're indigenous people. They've been colonized by Denmark.
Oh my god.
And Denmark is like, and then there's these, they're building up this resentment saying like, remember, they had their own version of the stolen generation
right.
in Greenland.
Okay.
Apparently a bunch of kids were moved to Denmark. I don't know a
Right.
lot about the history,
Sure.
but I saw some parallels with ours. And Denmark, I think a year or two ago, did an apology, kind of like the Kevin Rudd apology.
Right.
That's being used.
By Fox.
Trump is saying,
By
I'll
Fox.
give every Danish Greenland citizen a bunch of money. So the playbook that a lot of Europeans thought was only restricted to brown third world countries,
Sure.
they don't do it to us. And all of a sudden,
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
This is like, it's such a fucked up perspective of the world. It's like this polarized, like fiefdom. No, like you explained it. There was a word you used, like unipolar, different
Multipolar?
like multiple superpowers
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah.
There's no diplomacy. There's no kind of institutions that don't matter. And it's like,
but you asked a question about like, is it about mineral? Because I have a theory on Greenland, because like the Venezuela one is obviously out in the open.
It can't be.
So the rationale for America wanting it so badly, I mean, obviously the one is it's very geostrategic location. You know, for example,
they got Alaska. They got Alaska.
The tanker that they just captured. The Russian one recently.
That's very sketchy too.
That happened right next to Iceland. So Greenland is a very pivotal location. But the problem with that understanding is, even though it's true, it's like, well, America already has access to Greenland. Yeah. They have bases. Denmark is a friendly country.
It's
so
theirs.
What's the problem, right?
Theirs.
It's already yours.
It's theirs.
So that's one question. Of like, okay, even if it's just yours, you already have it. It's not like Russia's going to take it over or anything. The second then becomes like, oh, is it the mineral wealth? You know? And obviously it does have a lot of minerals, and it would be nice, just like Venezuela, to have that resource. But I read an article by an Indian military strategist who was talking about this, and his view is, again, I'm no military expert, right? So, but his understanding was that the reason why America actually wants to occupy Greenland and make it part of America, or make it an American territory, is because war has evolved. And one of the things that has happened in war is that all the different sort of branches of war, like, you know, whether it be Navy, Air Force, they've all amalgamated into what's called like unified deterrence.
Yep.
So it's
like sectors of power, right?
It's like networking. So the networking is like, if you have a target and you need to attack, it's not just that you get the Air Force. Okay, your target is you go attack over there. The Air Force is going to be is going to have like inputs from you know, the cybersecurity department, where they're turning off electricity grids of a country before they're attacking. Then you'll have like the Space Force that would be moving like the satellites into position. So the whole thing is, it needs to be under a unified command chain. It was the thesis.
Oceania.
And so what he was arguing is that America doesn't want to deal with Canadian and Danish generals, even though America still have, what they want is to be able to exclusively control the whole thing, so that they can create a unified deterrence against a potential world war that is Russia.
Right.
And so that was one of the arguments that was being given, aside from the argument that obviously it has a lot of mineral wealth. But one of the things that I fear is going to happen is that if America does take Greenland, right?
Please don't say that's
whether it be through military intervention. I don't think this is my view. I don't think there's going to be a military intervention, but I think America will buy it.
Okay.
Sooner or later, perhaps after Trump is gone, but like, I think that's going to happen at some point. But the one thing that I am actually concerned about is that if the Arctic becomes militarized and Greenland gets occupied by America, the reaction of that will be that I suspect that Antarctica is going to get militarized as well by other countries. Now, that's a big problem for us, because Australia, as you know, is actually pretty close to Antarctica. So if China is fighting this race of like, okay, America has Arctic, we're going to take over Antarctica, you know, which everyone sort of has like a truce at the moment. There's multiple countries over there, but no one really wants to exploit, because everyone's agreed that let's not militarize Antarctica, right? So there's
Antarctica's the one down south, the North Pole.
Antarctica's down south. But I suspect that won't be the case. And which means it's bad news for us, because that is going to be, because that's kind of our, like, you know, part of Antarctica is our backyard in a sense. Antarctica is huge, so, you know, you can access it from Australia, and you can also access it from like South America. But either way, militarization of Antarctica will be bad news for us, and obviously for the world, you know. It's the last untouched area of the world.
I mean, dude, Trump has actually, that's a great segue. I'm going to stick this in the fridge just because I think it's funny, but these days it's actually completely true. My dad bought me a book for my birthday, and then like typical dad was like, open the front page, and I pull it, and he's like, pretty good, huh?
What is it? Cult of Stupid.
It's Trump, and it says Cult of Stupid. And you know what? I thought it was kind of like a funny meme, but now I'm like, I'll stick it on the fridge. It's kind of true, bro. He's doing some crazy ass shit. Like, Greenland, what do you... Like, it's not even that... His perspective is one of antagonizing and attacking. It's not defense. It's like we have to be on the attack. It's like that whole. It's like the real estate. It's like the gambling.
It's imperialism. We have a word for it. This is exactly what imperialism is.
Dad won. Imperialism. Because it's expansion. The Roman Empire, right?
Yeah.
Expand. And it's like...
It's my area. I don't care about sovereign states anymore.
But that was not... The whole point, I feel like the whole point of the post-war world and NATO and the UN and these alliances was like, these are safeguards to prevent, really, let's be honest, human nature to sort of expand, to be aggressive, to dominate. And it's like, these are like checks and balances to be like, look, we'll all have our spheres of influence, but like, let's agree on some like universal, like humanity, like
we did that, dude. After the Second World War, which was holding well, there was the United Nations.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which was Declaration of Human Rights.
Yes, I know.
We came up with basic tenets of
human rights.
And by the way, even I'll be honest, like, this is during the Cold War. The Russians didn't necessarily agree with them, but they came up with their own Cairo Declaration, which happened in Cairo, which all the Muslim states, and they came up with similar sort of tenets.
Yeah.
And so it was bipartisan of the world, these tenets, and now all of them chucked out of the window.
By Trump and Putin.
Yeah. Trump and Putin. I mean, this is a controversial position, but like obviously Trump and Putin
Israel.
I believe the only moral great power now is China because they haven't done it. There's a lot of argument that like...
What are you talking about? They're threatening Taiwan like... Did you hear his speech?
Bro, they're threatening. They're not kidnapping.
That's true.
When was the last time China fought a war? I think it was Vietnam.
True.
In the 70s. They haven't fought a war after that.
You're right.
Now they say a lot... By the way, this is also a controversial opinion, but I think it needs to be said that China has the sort of... the grounds, like, because Taiwan was part of China.
No, it's true.
You know, Venezuela was never part of the U.S. Greenland was never part of the U.S.
That's true. It's a lot less sketchy to be like this ex-Chinese colony will be China again.
It wasn't Chinese colony. It was just China. There was a civil war where like the losing side fled to Taiwan and created their own government.
Okay, so that's just what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Now, in what Trump has done is I think this would be, I would not recommend China doing this, but they can get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of Chinese hawks that are saying like,
fuck it.
Now is the time.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I think that...
Which I think would be a bad move for them, by the way, for China to do that. Because I think if they just let America on this collisionary course of destroying itself,
let them be.
I think Taiwan and all of that area is eventually going to come to China anyways. Because they'll look at America and be like, that's insane.
That might be true.
Voluntarily, this is my view.
That might be true.
So if I was like Chinese, I said this on the upload as well, I would not, even though this is technically, you know, you could argue is a great opportunity, but I would say like, okay, if you do that, you know, and Taiwan operation would be very complicated. I don't exactly know how confident China is in doing that. But let's assume that they feel that they are confident enough, just like Trump felt that Venezuela was confident enough. I think that would be a short-term measure. You may get Taiwan, but you're going to like exactly the same thing that happened to Putin after attacking Ukraine. Yeah. All of Western Europe consolidated, started rebuilding the army because they need to create a balance of power. I suspect same thing is going to happen in South America now after Trump's, like, all of these countries like Brazil and these countries are going to get together and try to create. It's going to be really hard for them because America just outmatches them all. But I think if China does that with Taiwan, a similar effect will happen, and Japan and Korea will get very antagonistic. Yeah. However, if China plays a patience game, I think Taiwan would eventually come to them anyways. Yeah. And all of these countries, maybe not Japan, but some of these other countries around them, like Korea, Vietnam, or whatever, may eventually move towards them anyways.
Maybe... Do you think it's an argument that America, because it's kind of for whatever reason, or so they say, a dying empire, it's a last ditch attempt at like a desperate sort of like, oh, we're just gonna fucking take everything, you know, like kind of desperation. Because that's not the actions. Look, that's not the actions of
the empire is dead. I understand
that's not the
that.
Actions of a
confident.
Yeah,
I do. The traditional American empire is over. And I think like that is obviously clear. And Trump acknowledged. In fact, like the US came up with a working paper recently, which is quite interesting because they clearly said
the McDonald's Accord.
That the old empire of unipolar moment is gone. Multipolar, we live in a multipolar world, which is why we need to like sort of figure out our backyard kind of thing. So there's an acknowledgement that the unipolar event is gone. However, there is like a very doomsday sort of predictions that a lot of people make, which is like, this is the end of America. And I don't know, maybe it's the end of America, but no one else can make America will have to like self-detonate for it to be truly end of America. Right. So it's really on them. No one else can do it for them.
Right.
And look, man, if based on like their population, based on their geography, based on their resources, there's no reason why America has to like fizzle out.
No.
It can still remain a very, very strong country, but that's up to them. If they go towards this, like, you know, if they're not able to bring stability and get their act together, then perhaps it would be a bad end. But if they can get it together, then there's no reason. They might not be number one in the future, but they'll be number two.
Still pretty good.
Worst case scenario, they'll be number three. They'll always be one of the biggest powers in the world.
Yeah.
The only way that can be ruined is America just suicide bombs itself.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's hard. It's hard to argue against what you're saying about China in a way. Jordan went to China, didn't he?
Yeah. Both Jordan and I went to China.
Yeah, but he went again, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like... Yeah, look. In any case, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know enough about China. Obviously, I'm always the one that's pointing out the glaringly obvious issues with China. But like, I also can acknowledge that they're not doing what America's doing. It's very confusing. It's confusing to me. It's just like, it's very...
it's like China does get a bad rep. It's like China makes a highway. This highway can be used for military purposes. And it's like, America develops like hydrogen bomb of peace. It was like, relax, dude. Like, I am way more scared of the US than I am scared of China at this point. And like I don't know, like, you have to be living in some crazy propaganda to think like there's...
I get it.
You know what I heard? Like,
I get
Victor
it.
Gao, who is essentially the Chinese Communist Party's spokesperson, internationally, and he was asked about like all of this, and you know what he said? He was like, "We must not forget the tenets of the United Nations human rights." And I was
China
like,
said that,
bro. China is saying that.
Is China in the UN?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, look, look, honestly, man, yeah, I can't defend America right now, and it kind of breaks my heart because, like, you know, half of the population, I would argue more now, are vehemently against all of this shit that America's doing.
Half the population of what?
Of America.
Yeah, probably more, dude.
That's what I just said. Yeah. So, you know, they're not happy with the imperialism. They're not happy with...
But by the way...
IS overreaching.
Not the government, not the parties. The Democrats and Republicans... bipartisan support the Venezuela.
No.
Yes. The read the New York Times. I don't think you read New York Times.
I don't.
Fully apologist.
Wow.
Because this is a bipartisan campaign. And also I want to make this...
Are you sure, dude? He didn't even let them know. He didn't let them know he was doing it.
You know who's against it in the Democrats? The New Socialists. Bernie, Zoran Mamdani, and some of those. Chuck Schumer's very quiet about it.
Really?
Because I think they agree with it. They have the same neoliberal imperialist agenda.
It's just such a... It's so much more dramatic. It's more dramatic than people are even saying. It's way more dramatic. It's like, this hasn't happened ever.
It has happened all the time.
Not so brazenly, though.
The kidnapping of a president? This is like probably...
I'm talking about in South America.
Yeah, in South America.
Who? Cuba was never...
Panama. Guatemala.
Really?
I would say at least 6 or 7 times this exact thing has happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. It was a common occurrence during the Cold War.
But the thing, how
all the ideas that you have about like, oh, this wasn't the case. This is a period of between 1991 for the Soviet Union till about 2017.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's what you're assuming is like always the case in terms of American imperialism is probably that period. You just didn't hear about it because like the media was fully controlled.
Right.
It was always about like spreading democracy and restricting communism, but exactly similar stuff was happening. Yeah, the only difference now is like it's quite in the open. There's no pretense, nothing, just straight up.
But it just shatters any. It basically
Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. It shatters any. Like imagine all the old Bush, if there are any, all the old Bush lovers from like back in the day, like 80s and 90s, just being like. Now, just being like, I don't know, like 80, 70, and just being like, or not even 70, being like 50 and being like, you know, old Republicans being like, that was about democracy. And then Trump just comes out and is like, it's the oil. And they're just like, I've been saying it was about democracy for 63 years. He just, fuck, you know.
I think some of them actually believed it too. That, you know, that we're doing this for democracy.
I believed it. Even I did.
Yeah. But it never was.
I believed it. On a kind of like how I believe in like God. It's like, I think maybe. You know what I mean?
So I think in that sense it's kind of good because I don't have to convince you that this isn't about democracy because that's something that you had to do during Iraq, Afghanistan and that sort of stuff. And
I mean, that was also so obvious. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, it's just like I'm not usually shocked. Like I'm not that shocked about the ICE thing. It's horrible, but I'm not that shocked. There's not that many things that shock me. The Venezuela thing shocked me. But
why did it shock you? We were talking about it on the pod. I told you that something like this was going.
I didn't believe you.
Well, here's another one.
I didn't believe you.
I'm telling you, something
Greenland.
similar is about to happen in Iran as well.
Well, I've seen that. I've seen news reports that are like America is gearing up for Iran because Iran they're all over. They hate they're having their whatever it's called Arab Spring thing, right? Dude, they are. Inflation's crazy. Their dollar's fucked. They can't eat, right?
Yep, that's true.
But that's not their fault, or is it their fault? Is it planned?
Yeah, of course.
By America?
Of course it's planned.
By Israel?
Because they want the government to collapse.
By Israel?
By Israel and America.
So that was the plan.
But Israel chief. Yeah, and right now, you know what's...
How did they...
I'll tell you what's happening.
Wait.
Yeah.
Tell me what's happening, but just to give it backstory, the way... They fucked their government, and caused inflation and the dollar drop was isolating them, right?
Yeah, and putting like extreme sanctions on them.
Okay.
And also like decapitating their generals in the last war. Also creating conditions where like Tehran's water supply is collapsing.
Oh, fuck.
All of this is being done to essentially get people frustrated.
Which is what they've done.
That they change the regime.
Which is what they've done.
But the problem is that everyone in Iran kind of knows what's happening. They're not oblivious to it.
But they're starving, right?
Well, yes. Well, I mean, yes. I mean, they're going through some serious problems. Their currency just...
What I'm saying is like, they can, on an intellectual level, know why this is happening. But they're also like, I don't care. I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
But what is also happening is now Trump has made this announcement that if Iran kills protesters,
then he's going to come around.
Now, at the same time, Israel is encouraging all of its assets within Iran to protest. And there are reports that there's firing coming from both sides. Apparently around 35 people have already... This is all being, again, conditions for a regime change.
It's just a playbook.
Yeah.
It's Iraq.
Well, it's not Iraq yet because Iraq also required a ground invasion.
It was a full war.
Yeah. So we'll see if it ends up there. But...
Yeah, it's just, look, it's if you take away all the rhetoric, you take away all the media spin or whatever, and you just look at the facts, which is what we just covered. Same shit. Same old Republican story. Same thing. Same thing, like hawkish, like destabilize government, kill them, then put in a pro-West government. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's so crazy. I didn't think this shit would happen. I thought when when Biden pulled out of Afghanistan, I'm like, that's the end of all wars. Maybe Azerbaijan and Armenia will keep going, but Trump ended that one apparently. But like,
yeah, unfortunately, it seems like we're at the beginning of era of war.
Jesus, that's not good.
No, it's not. But like,
it's scary.
Yeah, of course.
Especially if you have like, doesn't really make you want to have like children, for example.
Yeah, well, you weren't gonna have that. You weren't like gonna do that anyways.
I'm gonna do it at some point.
Oh yeah, well, it's a tough time.
I wasn't gonna do it today.
I mean, you're in one of the safer countries.
I know,
but like, yeah,
you seem quite calm about this impending doom. Have you got stocks and bullets or something?
No, I just
you're like magazines.
It's like there's a bit of stoicism. I can't do anything about it. So what do I do?
You are a bit of a stoic.
Yeah,
it's just like, do we ever learn? Do we ever learn? It's the same thing that keeps repeating itself over and over and over.
Life is cyclical.
Life is cyclical. But like,
but
dude, I'm pretty tired, you know? It's like I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tired.
Look,
what's
again,
the safest place in the world? There is no safe place. We're isolated geographically.
Honestly,
Antarctica.
Mainland America is a safe place, unless again your own countrymen kill you with a civil war. It's a pretty safe place. Australia is a safe place as well.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to be in Iran. You don't want to be like Taiwan, Korea, Japan area. That's.
I was just in Korea.
Well, I mean, you're talking about like long term, like where there's
what's wrong with
possibility
Korea?
of. It's right next to China in the new geostrategic competition.
And they're very pro-America now.
Well, they're small. So it doesn't matter. Today they're pro, maybe tomorrow they'll be, but they're just going to be on the losing end of this game.
Yeah.
When elephants fight, the grass gets trampled. So you don't want to be in the grass, next to elephants.
Did you just make that saying up?
No, that's an old African proverb.
Wow. That's like profound and terrifying. Profound and terrifying. A positive outlook on things to come, people. Happy New Year, 2026.
Happy New Year. I mean, but I think that I'm not breaking news here. Everyone looks.
Well, you are to me.
Man, everyone understands that this is a very pivotal time in history.
I know that, but like, what's frustrating is for my whole life, more or less. I mean, there's been wars, there's been terrible wars, but I would argue that the period from like 1990, I guess you just quashed this idea, but I would have said that the idea from 1990 to like, I don't know, like 2010, 2010 or plus has been like it seems like some of the safest, like most like stable global hegemony ever.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that as I got older, you get more I think you get more problems as you get older because you just have to like, finances and life and whatever, like you grow, you need to build things, right? Mm-hmm. So I was hoping that like on an international level, that was all sweet. So I could worry about the turmoil in my life. I can't handle turmoil in my life and international turmoil. It's like, that's too much turmoil.
I'm going to be honest, dude. This is going to be like a very dark thing to say, but I think the West needed it.
Too easy?
Stale.
Too easy.
All our ideas are old. They're not really working anymore.
They're not working?
We're kind of like surfing on some of the old ideas that I'm talking about in terms of the economy. This whole neoliberal concept that we had.
Yeah.
Something needed. This is not an ideal situation, but what I'm saying is like the best you can really do is like use this as an opportunity. First of all, I think this is a wake up call for Europe that you cannot outsource your military. You have to do it yourself. So now is the time you work on your capabilities. Same applies to us. How do we ensure that we stay relevant economically, hedge our bets, have a military strategy that's not about defeating China, but being able to defend ourselves. Not necessarily be a little like a clog in the U.S. grand strategy.
Yeah.
But how, if we got abandoned, how do we ensure that we are able to defend ourselves?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm hoping that never happens, and it's unlikely, but that's something that we should take into consideration. We can't depend on anyone else. We can't depend on, China always being nice and not doing anything fuck with us. We can't depend on the U.S. to come and save us.
Yeah.
I know at this point it seems an unreasonable thing to say because we don't have the option, but like that's future thinking.
Yeah.
Think about the next 50 years.
Yes.
Think about how can you not keep all your eggs in one basket. It's at the end of the day, nation states, they're all on their own. I hope this whole Greenland episode tells that even white countries aren't immune to this.
It's just like, the only word I can think, it's just shocking. It's just shocking. It's a shocking turn of events. And it's kind of, tiring. Maybe I am just tired, but like I am tired, but like it's a very like, it's just like, it's just like, what's the word? It's kind of like
exhausting.
Yeah, it's just exhausting. It is.
You haven't even started being exhausted, dude.
Why?
Wars are so exhausting, you have no idea.
Really?
Generations have to sacrifice themselves. Life hasn't always been this easy.
I know.
Nothing stays permanent.
Exactly. Jesus Christ.
You don't know what sacrifice. I don't know what sacrifice is.
No. Well,
there's generations.
I got up at 6 a.m.
to face bullets in a trench with gas.
No.
Yeah.
I thought robots.
There was a time when most of Europe's male population was gone. It was just women and like a handful of guys. They all died. A war that they won.
Fuck.
Women had to work in factories, not because of feminism, because there was no option. That's how we achieved women's participation in the workforce, because there were no men to do it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Man, I'm just telling you that.
Why do these wars always, why were the wars always in Europe? Is it because that they were like, they're more technologically advanced? Because everyone wars.
Yeah.
There's tribal wars. There's this kind of war. Was that just war on a bigger scale?
I'm actually reading a book by Henry Kissinger, The New World Order.
Really?
And he discusses, I'm still reading it, so I'm not going to like go through because...
Yeah.
But he talks about a weird quirk of Europe.
Yeah.
And he says that...
Is it small little...
What he calls pluralism. He said Europe became very pluralistic, and there were attempts throughout during the Holy Roman Empire, King Charlemagne, that tried to create a unified identity to avoid these wars kind of thing. But what Kissinger was arguing is that there came a time in Europe when they did not look at that pluralism as a bad thing, but then they looked at it as a strength of creating stability. And they got into this balance of power thing, which is that if any country in Europe gets too strong, for example, Russia gets too strong, or France gets too strong amongst Napoleon, then all the other European countries get together to balance that out.
Yeah.
And for that, there needs to be a war. Because if one country gets too strong, because of the division, the pluralism of Europe, then that country is going to dominate.
Right.
And so the only way that you can stop that country from dominating is everyone else gets together and fights a war. That's Kissinger's thesis. I haven't fully read the book.
Isn't that a reflection of just the globe, though, kind of?
Not necessarily.
Right.
Because China is a unified identity. America, to a large extent, is, and these are huge geographical spaces.
Yeah, true.
India, for example, has more or so become a somewhat unified identity. Historical unified identity. Europe has been too divided.
Right.
And Kissinger's argument is that they embraced that division. And they said that this division is going to keep everyone in check.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what a sacrifice that has to, Like, I don't know.
They came up with this idea of the Westphalian sovereignty to ensure that pluralism remains intact. That even if you're small, you can't just attack someone because you've gotten bigger.
Do you think humans are just inherently evil?
No, I don't think so. I think there's evil and good in all of us.
Yeah.
It's the choices that we take.
Yeah, maybe collectively
Yeah.
But maybe collectively we're evil. Countries and governments make crazy decisions.
There's evil within all of us, and there's good within all of us.
Yeah.
There's conditions.
It just seems so strange that we live on, especially today. We're such a globalized country. We have the whole world, every piece of information in this little thing. Hasn't helped. There's these intrinsic things.
No, that's what's made it way worse.
It's quite ironic, though.
And throughout history, that's happened.
Really?
Yeah. Printing press, massive problems, created problems.
Yeah.
Half of Germany died. Any technological change causes upheaval in society.
Yeah.
So it's not why hasn't that stopped us? But that is the reason.
But this is an extension of us, so it's kind of like it goes to the fact that maybe we are just evil.
Technological advances.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's like the strong take advantage of the weak. That is a cardinal
that's
rule.
evil.
But that's why we have religions, you know. That's why Christianity teaches us not to do that.
Yeah.
That's why we have these ideological frameworks.
Yeah, but is it just ideological? Is it practical? Do people actually live their life that way?
Yeah, it's our decisions collectively whether we want to live with that.
Yeah.
War can be unavoidable, but we can choose not to be evil.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It matters when it's hard to do. That's when it matters.
For sure.
Yeah.
I gave $5 to a homeless guy.
Congratulations.
You know what happened?
You've changed his life.
That's all I had.
Yeah.
But I was driving, and it was like a medium strip. This guy was living on a patch of dirt in between two highways near the fish markets. And he was just chilling there. He was painting and stuff. And I was just like, and I was boiling my ass off. And I was like, cool. And I looked at this guy and I was like, I almost felt ashamed that I even for a second was feeling like a victim. Like I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I was working, doing this thing. And I looked at this guy and I'm like, I was like ashamed of myself. I'm like, God, like there's a hit of reality, you know? So I had $5 I just gave him and we just had a chat. He was like, thanks, man. He was like, what are you going to do for New Year's? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, just like doing this thing. And I'm like, he's like, oh, have a happy New Year. And I was just like, you too, bro. You too. Like, what am I going to say? What are you going to do? Probably sit in that fucking patch, you know? At least I got him a long neck, you know?
Yeah. That's good.
But like...
something, a little happiness.
I mean...
that's it, dude. You got to make life a little better, you know?
Yeah. We're probably nearly over, but like...
we are.
To extrapolate on that, like... I don't like how the system... There's two things I don't like about the system we live in. It's wasteful... and it rewards greed. Yeah. It does. How do you save or whatever? I don't know. It rewards greed. The whole thing is like every man is an island, and it's like build your own little fucking nest, and then and it's like that's not sustainable. It's not a good way to live. Like local small based community things, like community, like a community garden that everyone pays $1 for, and you've got free, you've got like this awesome Greenland, and you can like eat vegetables and stuff. Like that shouldn't be some like hippy dippy idea. Like as an example, like I'm not saying like there should be more emphasis on small based like initiatives where it's like you don't just help yourself, you help your neighbor, and then it kind of you help each other. I feel like that is even dying a bit.
That's unfortunate, but that's something that we can make. We on an individual level definitely we can try to make a difference.
Definitely, yeah. But sometimes,
for example, shit in bags instead of the ground.
I would say the opposite. I would say the ground's fine, but it's hard. It seems like you're fighting an uphill battle sometimes.
Yeah, it is,
especially when institutions are such rip-offs, and even to an extent, governments where it's just like. you know, like everything is. I'm not saying obviously inflation isn't the government's fault, but it's like, you know, everything, like institutions are all kind of ripping each other off. It's just it's a society of rip-offs. It's like they're ripping me off, but I'll rip them off in this way, and they can rip me off this way, and I'll try to rip them off this way. And it's like, what is that? That's like so immoral. It's so immoral.
Anarchy.
Huh?
The end times are near, my friend.
Sign up to the Friendly Choice
Sign
podcast.
up to Up Late. Make sure it's a cushy end.
Jordan, hey, enjoy the end in style.
Yeah. And also, if you join the Patreon, then you can actually listen to all the episodes with Jordan, because Jordan is back, but he is on Patreon exclusive Uplates only. So make sure you sign up to that.
Cool. Yeah, well, sign up to the Up Late then if you want the Geordie's experience until he is back. In the meantime, Shawarma FM. And then, are we still going paywall at some point with this, or?
Yeah, well, I can't really do the paywall until Jordan comes back officially. So right now, we'll keep things the way they are.
The show continues, but, you know, things will...
So every week we release an episode with Jordan as well, but unfortunately it's on Patreon, it's an Up Late.
If you really want the deep dives, just join up on Patreon, because that's where you're going to get them, I suppose, as well as here, as well as Shawarma. This is like the addendum, I suppose, but...
That's right.
But we'll do more in the future, because I don't want to drive food around my whole life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you.